Now we'll hear from Legislative Council Chair Mary Ann Jacob.
Thank you, John, and thank you to all that are taking the time to listen to this message today. Hopefully by now you've listened to the message from both Dr. Arardi and our First Selectman, Pat Lodra, about the specifics of the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Education budget. I want to talk a little bit today about the additional challenges we faced on the Council this year. Besides working collaboratively with the Board of Education, the Board of Selectmen, and the Board of Finance, we really had to extend our reach up into the state to understand what's going on at the state level. We invited our state legislators and our state senator twice to Legislative Council meetings. We've spoken with the state budget director, Ben Barnes, who attended one of our meetings, and various elected officials have gone up and testified in Hartford a number of times about their concerns about the changes the state is proposing that affect Newtown very negatively. There's really two areas that we were concerned about. One was a push to get us to accept additional expenses related to the normally funded by the state teacher pension. And the second was a reduction in revenue. And many people are concerned that the balance that we struck may not be the exact right answer. And unfortunately, since the state budget will not be decided until after our referendum, we really had to make our best estimate of where we'd stand in respect to the taxpayers of Newtown. And one of the things we did was use all of the opinions by all of the people I mentioned to try to come to that decision. The first piece regarding the state pension was pretty easy. That issue is universally hurtful to every community in the state. So we know our state legislatures universally are not going to support that, and we feel very confident that we should not be worried about that this year. The second piece regarding a reduction in revenue related to education spending is much more complex because some communities in Connecticut benefit, some communities don't. We are one of the communities that is hurt quite substantially to the tune of over $3 million. Because of the complexity at the state about which communities benefit and which communities don't benefit, we feel much less confident about how that's going to end up. So after seriously looking at expenditures and reducing our borrowing, our spending on education, and our spending on the municipal side, we decided to reduce revenue to account for that reduction. That means that taxpayers will not be exposed to a $3 million shortfall, and we won't be asking you after the referendum to pay a higher mill rate than you expected to pay when you voted. We hope you understand those changes. We put some resolutions in place in case we erred one side a little too high on one side or a little too low on the other, that will fund everything to the levels it was last year on the education side, and we believe we struck the right balance. And I am very appreciative of the work that was done by all of the other boards and commissions and the collaboration that was done together, and I thank everyone for their input.